You're tuned into the How Is He podcast. This is the second half, presented by Podge Popa, your weekly source for all things Carlow soccer.
Welcome back to the How Is He podcast as we present our weekly bonus episode called The Second Half. Joining me fourth time on.
Fourth, yeah.
Denis, Guich, Byrne. Guich, how are you?
Good. No match ball.
No match ball, forget
Fourth
it.
appearance.
You got a jersey.
Yeah.
We'll go through results, fixtures, couple of topics to speak about. We'll have the Podge versus Popa as well. Yep. We'll start with results, Guich. Friday night, big win for Byrne Celtic against Collection. 2-1, did you hear anything?
Yeah. I was told Byrne Celtic were well worth a win. Collection, I think we're struggling for numbers again by the looks of the Connect anyway. Wasn't a 2-1 game. That makes sense. I know the score was 2-1, but Byrne were in total control. I wanted 1-0, 1-1, and then Byrne got a second. Alex Keller scored again. Yeah.
From a long throw. Flick on
Eric Malloy, back up to
nice little finish, but I seen the goal, a nice little finish, but a lot of time in the box.
Yeah.
I don't know how there's no pressure or a deflection or a block.
You see, I'm wondering, is he the type of player you're not thinking of from a set piece situation, and they're maybe more concentrated on some of the bigger players on the Byrne side? Because look, outside the box, Lethal can't give him an inch. You know, I'd go as far as saying, from any team we've played this season, I think he's been our toughest opponent.
Oh, definitely up there for young player of the year, I'd say.
Yeah, a very, very
probably
good
too
player.
young for it, is he? I know I wouldn't be sure he's older. No, he wouldn't be.
No, very good player. He'll be obviously in around the conversation for Player of the Year awards. But I thought Byrne Celtic, they'll be delighted with that 3 points.
Absolutely.
Fully deserved by the sounds of it.
Keeps them out of trouble-ish as well, right? Puts them on 18.
Put them up to, they went third temporarily, and then Craigard went back up,
In the ladies, I think this was 11-0, Vale versus Parkville. Vale Wanderers League champions. League champions, right? Congratulations to Vale Wanderers.
Yeah.
Think that's their first one, the one since they're back from Kilkenny.
Yeah.
This is their second year in.
Second year back in, and would have been many years in Kilkenny? Probably
2 seasons, I think.
Two, and then 2 back now, Yeah, big win. They've been putting up some big scores over the last couple of weeks, so another one Friday night.
St. Pat's 4 and Ernie 0. In the other ladies game, obviously they had rubber, but still a good win for St. Pat's.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the Saturday, our first final, or one of the finals we had to talk about, was Newark versus Vale Wanderers in the girls' youths. Vale Wanderers won 2-1, who retained the title after winning it last year. I didn't hear anything about the game, only that it was a very tight game.
Yeah. There was a couple of people talking about it at our game Sunday morning, actually, and they said that Newark were well in it.
Yeah.
For most of the game. Vale would have been, I suppose, favourites to retain the cup after winning it last season. But from what I heard, Vale were deserved winners, but there wasn't much in it in the end.
I think Newark have lost one. I think the Cynic girl, I think she plays youth. I think she's gone to CK.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a loss for them there, I suppose. I don't know if they've lost anyone else to CK or Wexford or anything like that, but she's a really good soccer player, that Cynic girl.
There was a group, there was definitely 3 or 4 really good girls with that Newark team.
Yeah.
Newark could be sharing stuff on Instagram. And
you're a very good club
online.
for that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them girls could be underage again next year.
Yeah, but see, you kind of get that within the girls. It's like with the football, isn't it?
Yeah.
Girls that can be very young playing.
Yeah, youths.
Not sure what kind of rules are there, obviously.
It could be 15 playing youths, like.
Yeah. So you could have a couple of more years left in a few of them. So, well done to Vale to retain a cup.
Congratulations. It's a good weekend for them overall as a club, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
In the Youths Cup final, I was down at Guich, Byrne Celtic 3, Hanover Harps 1. I got in just as Hanover scored. Typical cup final.
Hanover go 1 up?
Yeah, 1 up after a few minutes. Centre half, I really liked playing for Hanover. I think he's no rock. Really good centre half. The only criticism I have is he should probably step in with a bit more, maybe. But I thought Hanover were typical Hanover. Got forward as early as possible. Tried to squeeze their defence, turn over ball. Byrne Celtic were the better side. They just shaded it.
Yeah.
Striker got a hat trick for them.
Hat-trick, yeah. Cup final.
The goal to put them 2-1 up. Freddie Gibson is the name of the young lad. Took the ball out of the sky. great first touch up, swiveled, opened up, and played a pass into Des Clarkson, who's playing right wing for very good winger. He
Quick.
played it, I was right kind of at that goal, at that corner there, the shop, and the Gibson chap took down the ball and turned kind of in one motion and played a pass through perfectly weighted between the centre half and fullback. And I could see, I think Charlie's the name of the chap that plays, Charlie Clark. As soon as the man controlled the ball, the winger was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, he's a bit early, isn't he? But obviously he knew.
He knew, yeah.
And the pass was
something
perfect.
they've obviously done before.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. The pass was absolutely, it was the best pass I've
on the money.
Oh. And he squared, then that put him 2-1 up. And then the game was a bit of a stalemate. Byrne defended really well. Hanover pushed hard, a couple of set pieces. Hanover keeper was decent, actually, made a couple of saves. And I left that 2-1 with about 5 minutes to go, and I think Byrne Celtic got a penalty then. The man to get his hat-trick. And that is Byrne Celtic's first ever youths trophy as a club.
Jeez, so, fair play.
Massive congratulations.
Yeah, because I think they finished second bottom in that youths league.
But there were, I think, I remember talking to Brian, I think Brian kind of had them as favourites to win that youths.
Right, okay.
Because they had a really good group coming up the whole way up through the club.
So is it a young youths team?
I would guess so.
Yeah.
No, unless they came out with Youths Division 2 last year, I can't remember. But I would think so.
Well, Vale would have won Youths Division 2
last year. And I think their closest rivals was
Parkville.
I
think it was,
correct.
Last season, yeah.
So unless they are a young youths team, but look, it's I suppose that Byrne Celtic club has proved everyone wrong, right? From outside the club in general.
Really good young players out there.
Like they're
by the sounds of it across all
the work that went in there, juvenile, going back when I was even in my time academy director, they always produce players, but now they're obviously producing them and keeping them.
Yeah.
And
look at what they're building out there, like facilities and all.
It's unbelievable.
Really, really good. That Hanover team, they'd won the cup last year, so
they won the cup last year. There was one of their better players was injured.
Okay.
I was with Gavin Glover looking at it, and he was telling me that I can't think of the chap's name he mentioned, but one of their better players was injured. They could have been missing a few, but if I'm involved, that group of Hanover, I wouldn't be overly concerned because a lot of them are very good players. I'd be drafting them in around that first team squad there as soon as possible.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good youth teams over the last number of years, haven't they?
Yeah.
But absolutely. Look, a hat-trick in a cup final, that chap never kicked a football ever again.
Yeah, he's done it, hasn't he?
He'd remember, he's going to bring that for the rest of his life to score a hat-trick in a
cup final.
Cup final. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think it was
Celtic. No, it wasn't. He didn't get a header. I was going to say it could have been
big crowd at it, Podge?
No. A big Byrne Celtic crowd at it.
Yeah.
Surprised at what Hanover brought. Hanover usually travel to these games fairly well. Like, I wouldn't say there was 300 at it.
Right, okay.
And I've been to finals down there recently where, there could be 500 or 600 at it. Like,
remember the Pats and Phoenix Youths Cup final 2 years
ago? I wasn't at that, but there was a big,
unbelievable crowd down at that.
There was 400 or 500 at that, right?
There was a massive crowd at it.
Carroll League put on a great display, PA system and the cup on the podium, and
it's great for the players.
It's brilliant, and I want to applaud the Carroll League for that because they do it properly. Like, to be fair to them,
make an event of it
properly.
Yeah, you
absolutely.
Have to,
Saturday night, St. Felix 2, Hanover 2. I don't know who that suits, Guich.
Just backtrack there one, Podge.
Yeah.
There was the Youth Division 2 New York, Bagenalstown. It's down as a 3-0, but it was a walkover. Yeah. Unfortunately, from what I heard, Bagenalstown were caught with GA.
Yeah, they couldn't feel the team.
Yeah.
It's a shame, really, considering they're league champions, right?
Yeah, and we were saying last week they were obviously league champions, looking to get into a cup final and potential double for them there. So that means New York went to the final
against Pats, and that's this weekend. But we'll get to that in the fixtures. But
exactly.
Sorry, and then like I said, we had on Saturday night in Vale, Loughlin Bridge, St. Felix versus Hanover. Desmond 2-2. Hanover 2-1 up. Scott Rycroft with a screamer to equalise.
Worldy, I got a message saying he's after scoring a Worldy deep into injury time. I was told Hanover were the better side.
Okay.
At 2-1, I was told they were kind of going for the game.
Right.
A little bit too much at 2-1 rather than kind of managing the game, maybe sitting in a little bit, and Felix would have been obviously putting everyone forward and maybe try catch them on the break.
Yeah.
Felix took the lead in that game. Jack Byrne, the penalty. I was told it was softish. I believe it was Jack and Harry Lloyd were kind of wrestling with each other.
Okay.
And kind of was a free out. But look, they got the penalty. They went ahead, and to be honest, when I saw Felix went one up, I fully expected him to go 3 or 4-0 up. I really did. But in fairness to Hanover, battle back. Liam Ryan got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at 2-1, I'll be honest, I wasn't there. But I was looking at the connect at 2-1 and looking at the table and thinking that would be a massive 3 points for Hanover. And I was looking at a couple of other teams that would be thinking, Jesus.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
we're
and then,
this.
like I said, Podge, I was looking at the connect, and 2 seconds later, message,
Nice.
Scott's after scoring a worldie here.
If Hanover gets 3 points there, I'd say it even draws you back into it to an extent.
Well, you're still looking over your shoulder. Yeah, absolutely. Hanover still have a couple of games left, but I think Felix would be the happier with the point there.
It'll take a point, yeah. Absolutely.
It's a killer goal for Hanover to concede that late on, and because they have two home games. I know we'll get to the fixtures and all that, but if they had got a win Saturday night and going into 2 home games,
they still would have to pick up 2 wins in them home games. As it stands, they need to win the 3 games to be in with the show.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see in a minute. Yeah.
St. Felix B team versus Castle Rangers, also 2-2. That's a dead rubber because that Mill Celtic are the league champions there, right?
Yeah, and that game was played early. Actually, I think it was played at 5 o'clock. Obviously, with Felix B were at home and Felix A were at home, so that game was played early.
On Sunday, Guich then Parkville 1, Cretty Yard 3. Didn't hear anything about that game. I think Cretty went 1 up. I think it went 1-1.
Yeah,
I think Cretty got a penalty.
Wasn't at it. Cretty got 2 penalties actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Waters got 1, was it? Cack got a penalty as well. Parkville missed a penalty. Third down, Parkville missed a penalty, I think, late enough in the game. What I'm told was that Parkville came out of the blocks. They were pressing high. They were frantic. They were really, really up for it. Cretty Yard scored, killed them. Absolutely killed Parkville altogether.
Yeah, which happens.
Yeah, and Cretty Yard were the only team from then on in. Big blow for Parkville. I think losing that one again at home. They play Hanover Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's a massive game, right?
Yeah.
Hoping we're on to go to that.
Yeah, that's up in the plots. But yeah, look, we'll get to the fixtures. What room it on you?
Bagnallstown 3, St. Pat's 2, 1 up. 2-1 up.
Yeah, 3-2. 3-2 we lost. Disappointing.
Danny Doyle scorpion kick, I heard.
Danny Doyle, the winner, yeah. Disappointing on a couple of fronts, Podge, to be honest. Mainly disappointed with the result. To lose 3-2. Went ahead 1-0. Indirect free kick. Buggy header hit the post and fell to Luca Hutton.
Yeah.
Headered it, couldn't miss. And about 5 minutes later, we had a glorious chance. Lovely bit of play down the left. Ball put into the back post. Luca again. I don't think he jumped. And it just hit him on the head. And missed open goal. Would have put us 2-0 up. We were definitely by far the better team, I felt, in the first half. And even whole kind of course of the game, we were a much better team. Right on half time, pretty much, we gave a penalty away. A couple of our players thought it was a bit of an offside in the build up to it, but either way, Sean came out and he kind of went with his leg rather than his hands, and he get no complaints really. It was definitely a penalty. 1-1 right on half time, and we were kind of disappointed at half time to concede right before we were in control in the game. And then when 2-1 up, Sean launched kick out, some kick out.
He's big kick, didn't he?
Launched it, and there was a bit of a mess up between the Bagnallstown right back and the centre half. Both of them, I think, ended up on the ground in the box.
Clash.
And Jan, two of them kind of went for the same ball from what I remember, and Jan composing himself, took his time. You're thinking, is he going to shoot? What's he going to do?
Does he have too much time?
Yeah, and it was kind of bobbling up on him a little bit, and he stuck it into the bottom corner, in fairness.
Having a great season, Guich, didn't he?
Yeah, like he was up front again.
He's very good.
He done the same against Felix. He's a workhorse.
He's an animal.
His work rate is unbelievable. Puts so much pressure he puts on the centre halves.
Yeah.
Holding up the ball, really, really good. Again, like I said, second week in a row, he was up front, and that was 2-1. should have had the game out of sight. Lord missed. Well, I'm going to say Lord missed. Keeper made a double save in the box from Lord. I think the second one actually hit him in the face.
Go ahead.
Unbelievable save. Unbelievable double save.
You're in control then. Sounds like you're in control.
In control. Just after that then Lord hit the post. I'm actually going to say the keeper got a hand to it as well.
Go ahead.
Kind of from the angle, went to smash it, came off the post. So I'll give that one to the keeper as well. 3 unbelievable saves at 2-1. And then it was just bizarre. We were probably 25, 30 yards out from the Bagenstown goal. Kind of over towards the linesman. Bit of a scrap on the ground with the ball. Linesman flagged for a free to us.
Yeah.
Ref obviously didn't see it. Ref then blew the whistle for Jan fouling the Bagenstown player. No, in fairness, Jan did foul him.
Yeah.
But the linesman had flagged.
Previous.
Yeah, so there was 2 fouls in it, but the foul on our player was the first foul, if you know what I mean. So.
And he gave the free to Bagenstown for.
Well, the ref went over to the linesman and obviously had a quick chat and ended up giving the free to Bagenstown.
Strange.
So yeah, ball launched into the box, and ball kind of broke. Penalty for Bagenstown.
Yeah.
Coming off that free. To be honest, I looked over onto the roof of the clubhouse in the pitch and pucks. I thought there was a sniper up on it. The dockets went down in the box. So I don't know who it was, but dockets went down in the box.
Harvey Oswald was down in the match, was he?
Yeah. So that obviously a penalty there. Disappointing. Dean Kelly penalised, adamant there was no touch. Anyway, the penalty was given 2-2, and then probably 94, 95 minute long free from Bagenstown again, launched into the box, and Danny scorpion kick.
Unbelievable.
Just standing there looking at it, like, no, the initial reaction for me was disappointment in
the result.
Well, not the result, but defending.
Yeah, okay.
A long ball in, you know what I mean? But Danny just sticks the leg up, and there's not too many players can do what he done on the pitch. And just, flicked it into the bottom corner. Unbelievable, 95, 96 minute, and sure, as you know, they go crazy. Goal puts them top of the league. Game over, like, but look, disappointing on a couple of points, especially losing the game. But
it wasn't a penalty anyway.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. And I was actually behind the goal, and there was a couple of players or a couple of lads there not from either club.
Yeah.
And I asked them, and they said, not in a million years.
How far away was ref? How far away was, like?
I can't say exactly because we didn't have the VO with us.
Bagenstown recorded though. Did they have a VO, right?
I didn't see one there.
Okay.
I didn't see one there.
But
obviously the ref, but ref would have had one angle, and you have a linesman then as well.
Yeah.
Looking straight across. So it was disappointing because it kind of puts them 2-2, and sure, then at home they're going to launch balls into us. Danny was on the pitch at that stage. Danny had scored the penalty. Sorry, he'd come on.
But you go from 2-1 up with a degree of control to 2 poor decisions to under the cosh.
Pretty much.
There's a couple of reasons why games go like that. One of them is where the team takes their foot off the pedal, which doesn't sound like Pats did, considering you're saying you're 25, 30 yards out from goal before you give away that free kick, which means that you're the ones applying the pressure, so he's just still playing.
Exactly, yeah.
So the big thing for me is the defending of the set pieces, especially the winner, right? It's got to be better.
Yeah, it's a kind of just a central ball too.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of an angle on it, if you
coming
know what
down
I mean.
from
Yeah. Like I'm going to say, if memory serves me right, Danny is pretty much central enough to the goal, so it's not as if he is peeled off towards the back.
Or it's a flat diagonal, he's arriving late or whatever.
The ball is put back in across. So
but the penalty obviously is a bizarre one then as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like to kind of be given the free in the first place.
Yeah.
By the linesman.
That's what I mean.
They should add. And then the ref has obviously overruled the linesman. Ball goes into the box, and penalty is given.
Strange.
Yeah, disappointing because I've had people texting me, about the game, and they're talking about that incident as opposed to probably one of the best goalkeeping performances I've ever seen in the Carroll League. and then one of the best goals I've ever seen, all in the same game.
But if you're in the hunt for the league and that happens, there's murder at that game.
Yeah. Like, it's all well and good after the game.
If that decision is made and that is a game to go top of the table for both clubs, there's absolute mayhem down in Bagnallstown that morning.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, like for us after the game, you're disappointed. We're not in the league.
Yeah.
The league title race, obviously. So
you still want the point. I know
you
probably say
you want to win every game,
but
and
you
want to get,
go exactly. Do you know?
You know, but yeah, it's disappointing on that front. But look, I think ultimately the key kind of call outs in that game is the scorpion kick. But although Danny scores the winner, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the keeper wins the game for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Even another save I think he made.
It wasn't
from
goal
Toby.
from Guich. Was it the usual guy?
Yeah.
Good goalkeeper, that chap.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time he's played well against us either.
Yeah.
When he was really, really on it on Sunday morning. So, yeah.
In the Division 1, Ballymurphy A1, Newark B3. That's a bit of a dead rubber. And controversy in this one as well, Guich, I'm told. Ballinglass Town A3, Kilree 2.
Yeah, not a late penalty, but 65, 66 minutes.
So,
Ballinglass.
what I've heard about that is there was a free kick given. I think it was for Ballinglass, right? 40 or 50 yards away from the goal.
Yeah.
A bit of an altercation broke out. The referee in the box. The referee goes down, makes the right decision by sending off a Kilree player for striking a player, which he shouldn't have done, but he did. But I heard that the Kilree player warns you, and touch me again, and going to blah, blah, blah. And to be fair, he was true to his word and he hit the Ballinglass player.
Yeah.
The referee comes down, sends him off. And then, which is possibly the most bizarre decision I've ever heard of in a football match, goes ahead and awards a penalty to Kilree. Now, is that the penalty to win the game?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming so, because if you look at it from the connect,
There's only one penalty.
Yeah, the player sent off on 66 and the penalty scored on 68.
So the referee obviously panicked or whatever and gave a penalty to Ballinglass, and then kind of made up a rule about why it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Which probably infuriated Miko and the Kilree lads even more, because they know that sure it couldn't be a penalty, sure it was a dead ball.
The ball isn't in play. If the ball is in play, so say winger's going down and he's about to cross it in and the ref spots.
Yeah, it was a dead ball. Yeah.
Or if the ball is in play, well then it's a penalty in that sense. But because the ball isn't in play, it's no, it's not a penalty. And
yeah, and look, I'm not here to bash referees in any way, shape or form. We all make mistakes. There is no doubt about it. You wouldn't be human if you didn't. But sometimes mistakes hold a lot of weight, right? And if you're Slaney looking at that, if you're Dominic Byrne looking at that, you're like, here lads.
And I'm sure there was Slaney lads on the line. Yeah. Slaney lads there watching it.
Like, that doesn't just impact the result of that match, that impacts outcome on who's playing the Premier next year. Yeah,
especially when they're playing each other this weekend. Like Kilree turned over Slaney last week. There's no reason why they may not have held on for a pint Sunday morning, or even gone on and won the game themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bizarre one. But a bizarre one, Podge, that could have a massive say.
Yeah.
In how that table finishes in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, and it's getting to that time of year now as well, isn't it? Where the games are coming thick and fast. I'm sure we'll have midweek games and all that, but you'd feel very, very aggrieved.
Yeah.
If that was a decision that made a serious impact on the outcome of a league, like.
Yeah, like they're playing each other this weekend, so.
Yeah. In the Division 2, Mill Celtic 2, Parkville United B2. I actually said that under predictions and I wrote it down.
And change your mind?
No, you picked for me. But I actually wrote in the book 2-2 and put it in brackets. If you go back to the last episode, I'm nearly sure I said it as well. But anyway. Right,
so you're calling me out for...
No, I'm not calling you out for anything.
Yeah, well, indirectly calling me out, but you never said anything about me predicting 2-1 to Byrne Celtic.
No, because why should I? You know, I'm just saying that I would have said 2-1 Byrne Celtic. But I would have said 2-1. But anyway, look, it doesn't matter. We're not going to follow over that.
Yeah, sure, I won't do it anymore then.
But we're talking about decisions making big impacts, you know what I mean? That's one that makes a big impact on me, because I may have to do a forfeit. But anyway, that crown's been Celtic champions, Guy Troy. Yeah,
league champions. Well done to Mill. Pint was enough for them in the end. I think they're puts them 4 clear, so they can't be caught there. And relegated from Division 1 last season as well, so it bounced
and
back.
That's the next question I was going to ask you. Like, Mill Celtic it's a big soccer area.
Yeah.
Like the Mackies hold a tradition
across the men and women's game,
men
yeah.
and women's, like I remember being involved with Carlow Youths, and there was 4 or 5 lads from Mill on it. And they were all really good soccer players. Do you think they'll go in and hold their own in the first division? I remember they were playing Pats in a pre-season friendly. They beat him in a pre-season friendly 2 seasons ago, and they genuinely had about 35 lads warming up.
Yeah, they had big numbers. Yeah, absolutely. Like you look back, their last league win was 2014. They won Division 3.
Okay,
but like to kind of maybe answer your question, will they hold their own? They're capable, and things could have been slightly different for Mill if there wasn't for COVID, because they were actually Division 1 runners up in 2020.
Right.
Who won the league?
Vale.
Kilree.
Was it?
Yeah, I may start telling you the answers beforehand. Them always get them wrong. Yeah, so that was and obviously COVID came in then just after that. So yeah, they're Division 1 runners up, so
they're close.
Yeah, like so. Say for example, it was another season.
Yeah, they didn't have the rebound season.
Yeah,
it was a stop, and now they're almost like they're starting again, right? In 2022, 23, whatever it was. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a little bit like the St. Anne's conversation last week, where players around those areas who might necessarily be playing with Mill at the moment and see, well, look, there's a team that's after getting relegated last season and really hard to bounce back after being relegated. You know. Is it somewhere maybe players might think, I fancy a bit of that, Division 1?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Critty Yard United B 3, Bottinglass Town B 0. In the Division 3, they were Ballylinen, St. Anne's Ballylinen 2, Ballymurphy B 1, Parkville C 2, St. Joseph's 3, Bagnestown B 2, Nurney Villa B 0. That game is still live on the Connect.
Yeah, I think I got a notification this morning.
The game's still going on.
Yeah.
90 plus 650 minutes or something.
Yeah, I think it's. I think they're actually going for Guinness records. Are they with that one? Yeah. I got a notification on the Connect. So.
In the ladies, Ballymurphy 0, New Park 2. But as I said, Vale Wanderers are the league champions there.
Yeah, just obviously worth mentioning, Podge, the LFA team. Obviously, Dean Kelly.
Yeah, I have it down in my book, yeah. Couple of goals over the course of it.
Yeah, they were up in Donegal over the weekend. Dean got 2 goals.
Bet Connacht on the Friday night.
They drew with Connacht and Munster.
Drew.
And Bet Ulster.
Yeah.
So Munster won it in the end. Munster won 2 and drew 1.
Yeah.
Whereas Carlow won 1 and drew
Leinster.
2. Or Leinster, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were talking about other players in the past.
Go on.
It. So you mentioned George Cuddy's name.
Yeah.
So I've done a bit of digging.
Mikey Cooney.
So around 96, now this come from George's son Farrell.
Yeah.
In 96, George was on it, Alan Kelly was on it.
Oh, go ahead.
And Eugene O'Rourke.
Yeah, I knew something about Eugene O'Rourke.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that last week, didn't you?
No, I didn't want to say it because I didn't know if it was fully sure or fully right. But remember hearing that he had played for Leinster.
Remember Eugene playing with Collection?
Yeah, Troying
was serious, yeah.
Like
a kick out.
Yeah.
Alan Kelly then, obviously, we know where Alan Kelly was.
Yeah.
He's mentioned on this podcast plenty of times. And George Cuddy. So they played Ulster and Mid-Ulster.
All right.
They beat the 2 of them, yeah. So I'm assuming Mid-Ulster is Derry, Armagh, Tyrone.
I'd say it's
Derry, Armagh, Tyrone, I'd say.
It says Derry, Donegal, is it? Derry, Donegal.
Donegal being it?
Yeah. I'd say it would be, wouldn't
it?
I don't know. Good question. Anyone else on it? I'm surprised Gav was never on it.
We could have been. That's the thing I'm going to say. So there might be other players who... You mentioned Robbie Kane.
Robbie was on it,
Robbie was on it. So there might have been other players over the years who were on it. So, yeah, obviously let us know. But Jor actually scored in both games.
Go away from left back.
Yeah, playing Ulster and Mid-Ulster. And George Best was playing.
You're joking me.
Obviously. Hardly.
Great wanker. Absolute prick. You have me there.
Yeah.
So going a bit real slow. It sounds like oranges. To clear up on the free weekend thing as well. So Newark weren't granted a weekend off because Dino was playing with Leinster. So they had to apply for a free weekend and obviously got it.
That was the question then from last week that came
but
in. Yeah.
the rule states that if they have more than one player representing Leinster, they're entitled to a free weekend, without using a free weekend.
Yeah.
Because Bagenalstown, when Robbie was gone, had to use a free
They
weekend
asked the
as
same
well.
question?
Yeah,
Okay.
they had to use a free weekend as well. I didn't get we done questions this week, but do you know what I'm going to do, lads? From next week onwards, when we put up a question box, if you put in a question and we like it, we are going to give you a prize because the return on questions is poor.
You're mad to give away that Lee Murphy sponsored money, aren't you?
Mad to give it away, is right. Mad to give it away, is right. Hold on, I was going to jump on and see what that was. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong one. People, I don't know.
Stop asking me to come in here, will you? If you're not even.
But basically, it was Mikko Salder asked about the decision made, or how can the decision be made, in relation to the
penalty, the weekend.
Yeah. It's gone down now. So I think we've pretty much covered that there as well. But look, just on that referee thing, I want to talk about this while you're here. It's fair to say most of the games recorded now.
Yeah.
Like, is that not a fantastic tool for the referee's assessor to go over footage for both positive and for both negative, for development, for feedback, whatever way you want to use it? Surely it's a tool that should be used for referees.
Yeah, like you I suppose asked the question, why do clubs have it? Because it's to identify things that they've done good in games, things they've done bad in games.
Yeah.
And work on it. So you're not just recording it for the sake of saying.
Yeah.
Like, I know from our point of view, and you would have been obviously involved when we had the VO as well, is you want to improve on certain aspects of your game. Yeah. You know, you can also look and see what you've done well in certain games, how you can keep doing, all the good things then as well. I don't think it'd be any harm if the referees were to kind of go down the same approach as well. And like, let's be honest, it's not to be used just to identify where mistakes are made.
Absolutely.
It's not, like you said, it's to kind of look at it from both angles. Yeah. So it's improvement. It's how can the referees, the linesmen in the leagues kind of come up to maybe a higher standard.
Yeah.
And I'd be looking at it as well from if you're trying to recruit referees even.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so look, I don't know what the package is when you try and sell if a referee course to somebody. I don't know how exactly it works, but like, if you're looking at it from a personal development point of view, like, there might be some referees or some lads or girls interested in becoming referees. And it could be a case of, right, okay, so we actively record the games, or, maybe not use the club's VO, but maybe record every game, every second game. And if you see yourself maybe looking to progress to Leinster, refereeing Leinster Junior Cup games, refereeing FAI National or FAI games, you have a third tier in the League of Ireland. You might go on to be a League of Ireland referee.
Yeah.
You have all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're providing, it's almost a pathway.
Yeah.
For refereeing.
Yeah. I just think it kind of, I agree with you. And just to kind of echo what you're saying, my vision of using it would be, at our monthly meeting, let's look at 15 minutes of this game and let's ref it here from sitting down.
Yeah.
And what would you have done differently in the situation?
Yeah. And
if you could say I used the Kilree one there where a decision was made to give a penalty, like, pause it and say, okay, this happened, we can't change this, but what will we do differently if this happened again?
What's the learnings you can kind of take
exactly.
from it? Yeah.
And I think it'd be a fantastic tool for them, because I've said this before, I feel that clubs are at a point, and the league to an extent, are at a point where they're constantly developing and progressing. You can't deny that in their approach, in their social media presence, on the connect. It's all developing, and I just feel maybe the referees are just lagging a little bit, and they're not kind of, not that the quality of refereeing has changed for better or for worse, but the clubs and the league and everything else kind of passing them out.
Yeah, the technology
Do you know?
is becoming more and more
100%,
prevalent
yeah.
in the clubs. Yeah, yeah. And look, we're only going by what we know or what we don't know
Yeah.
in relation to what conversations take place between referees,
Well, there's a lot we do.
assessors.
There's a lot we don't
Yeah,
know.
and all of that as well. But I definitely do think there's a place for.
But that's
it, and
that's another thing as well, though, guys. Like the referee should be transparent. Like we should know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we should know. Like there should be an email going into Kilreed to say, listen, we noticed a mistake. We're looking to progress. We're looking to develop. We're looking for the situation never to happen again. Not that it fixes everything, but an apology.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, and look, you see it at the top level in professional football, like
look, Man United are Friday night.
and they talk about it, and it's like in every game, a player's going to make a mistake in a game
100%.
every week. A referee or official is going to make a mistake in a game every week, and you know that's the beauty of it a lot of the time. But I think if you were to probably even ask any of the referees how would they feel about games being recorded, getting feedback from video analysis, I'm sure a lot of them would be on board.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of them wouldn't be, but that doesn't matter because this is the fucking direction the Referees Association in Carlow branch is gone.
Yeah,
this is the way we're going.
Yeah,
and it might be a thing where it might progress to where you might have lads who don't want to develop say, not for me anymore, lads, and it might be a bad thing.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by like when I'm saying about selling what being a referee is like. There's current referees there now, I'm sure, who would have aspirations of maybe going up and reffing in third tier or reffing a Leinster Junior Cup final or being on the line for
an FEI game,
for FEI
or
Junior Cup final or reffing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like this is a tool that can help any current referees or any new referees. And again, like you're not going to bring it in and use it as a stick to beat anybody.
No.
You know, these are the good things that are happening.
Yeah.
These are things that could be improved on.
Yeah.
It's just like with us, we don't just say, right, here are all the goals, well done.
Yeah.
You know, it's a case of like, why did you do that? Or you know,
well, you don't
like,
ask why, and the reason that you don't ask why is because you can't change it. So that I hate when people do that.
Well, you would have had.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter why he's done it. He's fucking done it. Do you know? The question is, what brought you to the point to make that decision?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is what you were. That was the big thing with you, like, yeah.
What brought you, like, and if you were to be in a situation again, would you make the same decision? And that goes for referees, like.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's have a quick little glance at the tables, guys. So, champions crowned in the youth, champions crowned in the youth division 2, champions crowned in the girls under 18s. In the Premier, Bagnallstown went back top. Newark 2 games in hand, 2 points behind.
Yeah.
The interest for me is at the bottom of the table, where there's going to be big club relegated, right? Let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
With Phoenix being the newest into that group, who now find himself after a fantastic start, all of a sudden in a relegation battle.
Yeah, they've drawn 7 games.
Yeah,
they haven't won since October in the league.
Nuts.
Do you know? Like 1-2, drew 7.
6. If they win 6 of them drawn games,
they're up there.
They're top of the table, right?
Yeah, but we spoke about every week how tight it is from, third down, pretty much.
Hanover have 3 games left. Phoenix have 3 games left. Parkville have 2 games left. Kaleshin have 1 game left. And I think Pats are safe-ish. Also have 2 games left.
Once other results kind of.
Yeah, look, Hanover have to play Parkville at home,
Cretty-Yard at home. You walk away.
Yeah. So they need all points. Byrne and Phoenix don't pick up another win.
Well, if we look at it this way, Hanover are playing Parkville Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. So as it stands, Hanover are 6 points behind Parkville with a game in hand.
Yeah.
Okay. If Hanover were to beat Parkville and beat Cretty-Yard at home,
puts them on 12.
Puts them level with Parkville.
Oh yeah, after 2 games, yeah.
Parkville have 2 games left, as we said. One of them is Hanover, the other one is Bagnallstown.
Yeah.
Now Parkville are at home to Bagnallstown, but that's a Bagnallstown team who are obviously fighting for a league title.
Yeah.
And will go down to Parkville confident that they can get something. So in that scenario, if Hanover were to win 2, not to beat Newark,
we're
looking at a playoff. 15.
Yeah, and that's with Fieks winning.
That's that's
picking
kind
up
of
points.
yeah.
Who
Not
do
having
Fieks have,
in the
Guich?
equation. Fieks have Byrne Celtic. Pretty sure.
Byrne Celtic, I think they might have Cretty, do they?
They've played New York.
Yeah, well look, I think we'll know more after next weekend. But yeah, that's an interesting analogy. That's with Fieks picking up enough points.
Now the other thing that was
Imagine a playoff for relegation would be nuts, wouldn't it?
yeah. Like the other thing, and I was telling you, I was looking at the Connect
Yeah.
in injury time on Saturday night. Collection were dragged right back in there because Collection are on 16 points. They've one game left.
Well, Collection need to win their last game,
Just
I
need to
think.
walk away.
Yeah. But Collection need to win their last game because teams could pass them out without them having anything to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Do you know what I mean?
a win for Hanover Saturday night would have
Massive.
been massive. But if they can get a win in their next 2 home games,
Is that Pop outside? Well, amigo. Here's Paul joining us. We're just talking about the relegation in the Premier. Great timing. No, but like it's still all to play for, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Do you think? Is it already? He's already coming in, yeah.
Is it not my show, no?
It is. That's why I invited you in.
All right, thanks.
It's still all to play for, Paul.
It is, yeah. It was a good, brilliant header by Liam Ryan. Don't get me wrong, he generated great power in it. But Craigleby is a fucking.
Yeah, he's better.
He
Than
do
that,
with his eyes closed, and by Craig's reaction, no one actually knew whether the ball was gone in or not because he's cool as a breeze, like.
yeah.
And I was just like, it's actually gone in. What's going on? Because you know the way you're the wrong side of it. Just I don't know. And then
He misjudged where he was.
Liam went
in the
off and he
box
was like
probably,
celebrating. And then I seen the Hanover boys going. I said, "Is it fucking in or what's going on?" So it ended up being in. And then Owen Byrne nearly scored a worldly 20 minutes to go, and everybody thought it was in. Would have been 3-1. And then the last kick of the game, boys did really well. Defended a set piece, won a tackle on the edge of the box, and hopped the Scott Rycroft, and he absolutely boozled it into the top
He's
corner.
got a strike on him, doesn't he?
He has it in his locker.
Yeah, he does.
Super
Yeah.
In his locker, yeah.
I was disgusted because look at it, it's all part of soccer, you accept that, but just I went through it over me and 13 games gone, and I said Hanover could easily be on 18 to 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, look, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was told, I was saying before you were here, I was saying or told that from a few people you were definitely the better team.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, I was told at 2-1, you kind of kept going for it. Would that be fair to
For
say?
sure, we're after getting caught so many times in this season. Why not go for it?
Yeah.
Like, but they were set
Trying
up,
to kill the game.
they never got in behind their fullbacks.
Yeah.
They weren't running past their midfielders.
I think when Jack went off, they were a different team.
Sure, he's a completely different player. Like Scott had a quiet game.
Yeah.
And Aaron started off. The front three was Aaron, and they were playing a diamond. And Bob Mulholland played on the left hand side.
Yeah.
And Cottle bossed the game from the middle of the field, as he does many times.
3v4, you were comfortable in the midfield?
Yeah, but they played Bob Mulholland on the left hand side, and I would have said he would have been more disciplined to go, here, you just go and press Cottle.
Central, like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Cottle was the deep one, or maybe being the one that presses.
Yeah.
But probably suits Bob being more central and left or right of the diamond. But
yeah.
The thing about the diamond is, lads, it has to, if you're playing with a diamond, it has to rotate.
100%. Now, they did rotate, but more so the top of the diamond and the middle two, and the top two. But that was the most rotation. Because I was like, are they playing 4-3-3 or they're playing a diamond? Because if Aaron was playing the top of the diamond, it looked like it was Scott, Jack, and then Aaron was top of the 10, top of the diamond, and that was rotation.
Scott
A small
and Jack
bit.
up front.
Yeah,
And them three rotated.
and then but the other three didn't really rotate.
No, I think I like the diamond, but it has to rotate.
Yeah,
Yeah, freshen it.
It just has to, because it's just because you want to use the spare man.
yeah.
So if you're 4v3,
Yeah.
you're sent to the spare man. Well, if you're the one furthest away from their tree, you've got to swap with someone,
Yeah.
and then that means he has a swap. So you're just rotating the whole thing. But
Around,
hard to coach. But fixtures, lads. Friday night, St. Joseph's B versus St. Joseph's.
Yeah.
All right, Podge.
Looking forward
France
to
going to
that
win that one, guys.
Saul Campbell
Yeah,
over
Saul
there.
Campbell.
Dane Bramage.
Saul Dial over there, look.
Collection, I was going to say it again. Collection FC
What's
B
a girl like you
versus
doing it?
Collection FC B, St. Joseph's FC. Friday night in Collection in
What's
Division
going to
3.
happen with that? Obviously, that division is over.
Which one, Guich? Division 3?
Division 3, but like there's still clubs there with 3 games left to
Have
play.
to play them, sure. To
Play them out, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
they will,
well, some depends on the fixture. If there's-
Sometimes if it's dead rubber,
if
they'll walk over.
if dead rubber, they'll just say, "Here, give a pint each." Doesn't make a difference,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they'll
But
pull.
both clubs have to
Both
agree to it.
parties have to agree to it.
Agree
Yeah.
with it, yeah.
But if you're
No,
one
if they're still in cups,
yeah, you want
they
to
want to
play
play
the
the
game.
game,
get-
better than
yeah,
training.
exactly, yeah.
But if you're going to go cups,
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
So that is Friday night in the Youths Division 2 Cup final, Newark versus St. Pat's. Where is that, Guich?
That is in Collection at 4:30. I think it was it was down for 2:30.
It's changed.
that's
Yeah.
you walk on for a double, is it?
No.
No,
Bagnallstown
Bagnallstown
won
were
that
going
league.
for
Oh,
a
back to
double.
someone, is yeah.
Bagnallstown gave a walkover in the semi-final last week.
Did you?
No, yeah, didn't have enough players.
County with the
Hurling,
hurling.
or football or whatever, maybe.
Yeah.
In Division 2.
Just on that Youths
Yeah.
Division 2 Cup, I know we were saying with the other cup finals last week, there was an interest from the previous year with teams looking to retain their cup.
Yeah.
There's actually 4 chaps on the Pat side.
Or with Vale.
Won it with Vale last year, and
Okay.
obviously the manager Owen Murphy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Newark will be favourites for that. They've
Tis
obviously
so.
beat them twice in the
Yeah.
league. But I think Pats will
No,
they'll take
TJ Brennan and all
encouragement.
that, sure.
TJ
Yeah.
Brennan, she's
He's
playing
He's playing with the first team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Pats will take encouragement from Byrne Celtic winning the Division 1. Like Byrne Celtic didn't have a great
Yeah, I
league
was at
season.
that pop. I was at Byrne Celtic Hanover, a typical cup final, but man up front Byrne Celtic is very good. But there was a pass in midfield for Byrne's second goal. Unbelievable, some pass.
Hanover missing a striker, I believe, were they?
We're missing. Yeah,
Not missing a
Gab was
striker,
telling me
or
that.
a lack of a striker.
What's
I'd say.
that? But what, they were
Young Hayden was
missing,
playing, but he's a better midfielder. He's
but
playing
the-
up front.
They were missing the chap though.
I'm not sure. I couldn't make it.
Your man's good centre half popped. O'Rock,
Gail Rock, yeah.
very good,
Mm.
very good. But he doesn't step in with the ball enough. He'd rather kick it 60 yards instead of dribbling a 10 or 15 draw.
Could be told to do that.
Yeah, he could
And
be.
it
Yeah.
stands
Could
up
be the
more
game
so on
plan,
Astro rather than grass, you know.
Yeah.
You're on the Platts pop. You don't run around.
yeah.
I told you in episode 1, the crocodile's back, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that youth final will be actually on grass in Collection.
They usually are when
I
it's in
wouldn't think
Collection.
so.
I
It's the
think
weather like
no.
that. Absolutely
Yeah.
hawking rain out
Rotten,
there.
rotten day
It's
today.
on at
anyway.
4:30 Saturday anyway. So
In the Division 2, St. Felix B versus Crit Yard, Nerney Villa A versus Parkville B. They are again dead rubbers. In the Premier Division, these are obviously Sunday. Hanover versus Parkville. Big game pop, right?
Yep.
And Bagnallstown versus Byrne Celtic. And in the FAI Junior Cup, St. Anthony's Kilcool versus Newark. Crossabeg versus St. Pat's. Fort Rangers versus Critty Yard. Mine Rangers versus Felix. All Carroll teams playing away.
all away and all at 2:00. Yeah,
All at
so
2:00.
a couple of.
With Fort Rangers and Critty are down for 11.
Oh, sorry. They are
Is
down
that
for 11
Fort
at
in
Kilkenny.
Kilkenny?
Wexford or Kilkenny.
No, that's Kilkenny. Fort Celtic is the
Is-
Wexford. Yeah.
FORT is Wexford, isn't it?
That'd be a good game. Fort and Critty.
Yeah, Fort, like we were saying last week, lost the Shield final down in Kilkenny. Mine Rangers. Actually, Felix are playing Mine Rangers. We're playing Crossabeg, and they both played each other at the weekend down in Wexford.
What was the score?
Mine Rangers won 4-2.
Okay.
But
All across the
We-
big gone. They're not Premier, are they?
they are, yeah. Yeah,
Are
they're
they?
kind of the same with Mine Rangers. They're in around the middle of the table.
Okay.
So you don't know what Wexford teams, do you?
No, you don't
like,
know.
you know,
They can be as strong as you like or miss a few,
Yeah.
you know, you don't know.
yeah, like we'll be going down. Like
If they're
probably
packed,
would have
if
saw
they have their squad, yeah, it'll be
Connect
hard.
Sunday for us. We had 3 subs.
Oh, well, you be for this weekend.
Seen that.
2 of the subs Sunday that played Sunday. In fairness, they came in were 2 of the youths who will actually be playing on Saturday. So we'd expect not to have them
What way is
Sunday.
Cal?
He won't be there. He won't be available for Sunday. I
Still
wouldn't
hurt, still
think. Wouldn't want to risk him. And then Joe Gordon and Jelly both went off on Sunday as well.
Seeing Jelly went off early enough for it. Is he alright?
Not 100%
Meant to
sure.
text
Yeah, he
him,
was waiting
actually.
to see. He was sore. Yeah, kind of a kick. It was kind of awkward. So he came off in the first half. Lord came on for him.
That's
So-
all right, doesn't it?
Lord
It's
for
not
Jelly.
bad, it's not bad
Lord.
replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bad.
so looking at a couple of injuries, a couple of players that were available to us. That if they're playing the youth final Saturday, they're probably not going to be available for a
Yeah.
Sunday. So
It's tough. We had young Leon. Leon played the Youth Cup final on Saturday, and he came on for the last 25 minutes of me in the game.
Good player, right?
But you just have to let him stretch. Don't even do the warm up.
Yeah.
Is his older brother Brian?
Ryan.
Ryan is the older.
Ryan,
I had
yeah.
him on an academy year over.
Ryan's
his
very
age.
good, but he's in
Who's
with the
that,
under. Ryan Fitzgerald and Leon.
all right, okay.
Is Ryan a Carroll footballer?
He's under 20s, yeah. But he, in fairness to him, he said, "Pop, anytime available, I'll play for you if I can."
Good
You
player.
know, there's a couple of GM and scouting around the field looking for under 20 players.
There was not, was there?
Well, no, there do be, but fuck off, you know.
Doobie.
The young lads play are only
it could be
fucking
tight for
18 or
for
19.
numbers.
In Division 1, Killary versus Ballymurphy and Ballinglass Town versus Slaney. If I'm in Carlow Sunday, I'm going to that. I think I might go to that.
Yeah, big game.
Seeing that, there's 2 points in it.
Big game.
Level on games, is it?
Yeah,
Two- yeah.
yeah. They'll both
Slaney's leading.
Slaney are leading. Ballinglass win, they go top, and it's in their hands then to win. They'll have 2 games each after that. So I'd say Slaney would take a point all day long.
Dino had a great weekend with Leinster.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Welcome to the show, Pop.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, can't hear you from the car. Thank God.
Guich
Not a radio, yeah.
Guich had a few other players that represent the Carlow and Leinster. Oh, did talk to me, Goose.
Alan Kelly,
Correct.
96 this was, so
Paul McCarthy.
one wasn't put to me, that one wasn't said, no. No, that's not to say Paul McCarthy didn't play, but there was one Leinster squad where there was 3 Carlow League players.
He had the longest throw in junior soccer you'll ever see. That's right. I'm going to give you a few points on the Podge versus Pop. I'm going to do this in stages, right? The first hint, you get 2 points. That's the first hint. Longest throw in football you'll ever see.
Sure. Jesus.
No, I'll give you the next hint.
Yeah, go on.
Right, you're down to 1 point. I'd say he played well into his 40s.
Still
And
lost.
the last point, this is for 0 points.
What's this, his name?
Yeah, played by Collection.
Oh, Eugene O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2 of the 3. The third player then.
Longest throw ever. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
The
Eugene
third
the lap.
I remember at games, yeah, like a kick out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one particular game I think he wasn't allowed to throw it in. So they went to
It's
far
too-
side.
too big.
Yeah, too big.
Yeah.
You may guess the third player then, 96. Pat's player.
Sure had to be Mikey, did it?
No.
Pat's player. Judy.
Yeah, I'm sure we
Yeah.
said it last week, sure. Yeah.
Scored in.
Scored in
Two
both
Ulster
games.
teams scored in both games. George Best was playing for Ulster.
Who's he?
Didn't fall
George
for it.
who?
I fell for it. I fell for the hook, line and
George
sinker.
Best.
Did he?
Go away!
Yeah, well, okay.
In Division 3, Ballymurphy, Celtic B,
That was good for
Hanover,
one, guys.
Harps B, Bagnallstown AFC B, and Parkville.
All league games,
C,
Podge.
all league games. Burn Celtic B versus Nerney Alts. All the rubber that division is 1.
Yeah.
Well, that's saying it could be going for second place. So then the Ladies League, which is also one of the Wonders the weekend, Millsalic versus Ballymurphy, New Park versus Nerney, and Parkville versus Vale Wanderers. We're going into the Fantastic Five now, Pop.
It's time for Podge versus Papa. Have your say in the Fantastic Five. Check it out now on howishe.ie. With thanks to Lee Murphy Kitchens, specialists in kitchen and furniture makeovers. Contact 087 683 1721 or check out Lee Murphy Kitchens and Carpentry on Instagram.
Two of us had good weeks,
Did we?
so there's still 2 points in it. I don't know what we're doing this week. Guich guessed for me last week. Do you want me to guess for you, or do you want to guess yourself? I'll give you the option. Do you want to guess yourself, or do you want to get Dennis to guess?
I'll let Dennis off one as a guest.
Let him
What's
off.
the games?
Yeah. See the games first.
And Noak had to use a free weekend.
Ulster versus
Mid Ulster.
what?
Noak didn't get a free weekend. They had to use one of their own free weekends.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's ouch.
Yeah.
But look, they're coming business end of the season. They'll be happy with the games.
So the current score is 55 Paul Dowling, 53 Podge Doyle. First game up is Hanover Harps versus Parkville.
Oh, best of luck, Dennis.
Right,
You
try
go
get into
first, 'cause
Papa's
you're
head.
leading.
Well, do I want to get into Papa's head? I'm Hanover versus Parkville. I'm going to go 2-0 Hanover.
I'm going to go 3-1 Hanover.
I think Hanover win that.
Yeah, so do I. I think Hanover win their next 3 games and stay up. I think they will.
Jesus, yeah.
I think they will. Do you know what? There's something saying to me. They're not because he's sitting there, but it's almost like the Spurs thing. They're too big of a club to go down, man. I know that doesn't come into it, but in my head it's telling me
Yeah, they have 8 games.
they're fucking. I know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in my I'm saying,
And we're playing Man
they won the
United,
league less than 10
Arsenal,
years.
and Liverpool.
They've about 16 trophies in the last 15 years. They
These
should.
things happen. So look at Rangers,
But that was
West Ham.
that was administrative.
Cannot beat clubs.
No.
Newcastle,
Leeds.
Aston Villa.
Leeds.
Bond Glass versus
Thanks for the positivity,
Slaney.
Podge. Oh, Dennis Byrne. No, best look at that one. Ballglass have momentum, do they?
Yeah.
And it's in Ballglass.
Me or you?
Yeah, you go.
I'll go 2-2.
Desmond 2-2.
Yeah. Then you'll get a pint.
I think Slane are going to beat them 2-1.
I haven't got a good track record with Slaney on this podcast either, have I?
Nerney A versus Parkville B, Division 2. Go on, Guich.
Look at the
Only A runners up. Parkville B were in a bit of form, I was saying last week. I'm
Yeah.
going to go.
Who did win last week? No.
Parkville B drew with
Drew with
Mill.
Mill.
Drew with Mill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had
which
it down
won the
as
league for
2-2.
Mill.
No, you didn't, but you didn't. You
I
weren't.
didn't pick, but I put it in brackets though.
Then, okay.
Sorry, Parkville.
But you got violin
away.
out there for Podge.
I'm going to go 3-2 for Nerney A. Lee Conran with a hat trick.
Nerney away. Nerney away. Nerney A versus Parkville B.
Lee Conran to play with Vale.
Yeah.
Is he playing? Good chap.
Yeah, good lad Lee, yeah.
Like Lee.
Yeah.
I'll go 2-0 Nerney.
That game is Saturday night. Sorry lads, that's under lights in Nerney, I presume. They play Saturday nights, right?
Under the lights.
To do.
I spell Nerney N-U-R-E-Y.
Nuri.
Dyslexic much?
Nuri Villa.
Ballymurphy B versus Hanover B.
I'll go Hanover B.
I'm going to go 3-0 past Globetrotters.
Pass Globetrotters. Going down in the post van.
Yeah. Hanover B. 3-1.
It's hard to keep a clean sheet in them lower division games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to change my
No,
score.
no.
No, I'm saying it's locked in.
New Park versus Nerney and the ladies. I'm going to go 6-0 New Park.
6-0 New Park. New Park and Nerney and the ladies. Thor will even say something like this, but I'm going to go 9-0 Nerney. Or 9-0.
9-0 Nerney, okay.
Nerney.
No, listen,
If that comes up 9-0, I'm going to tell you something. This Fab 5 is over.
If that comes up
Yeah.
9-0,
-9, I say.
if that
-9-0.
if New Park win 9-0, I'm leaving this podcast forever. And you can take it over.
Yeah. What did the predictions go with last week?
Okay, so Collection versus Byrne Celtic. You guessed for me, right? So you guessed correctly. Thanks very much. 2-1 to Byrne Celtic, and Papa went 2-1 to Collection. So I picked up 3. Vale versus Parkville. You went 5-0 for me. You went 4-1 for Vale. So we got a point each. The score was 11-0 or something.
Yeah.
Bottinglass versus Kilree. 2-0 Bottinglass. I got a point. Papa went 3-2
Thank God.
Bottinglass.
And I looked at the results in the Car League.
Yeah.
And I was their favourite. What was the second game?
Oh,
5-0 on it.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are the bastards
No,
to get them correct.
yeah, no,
Sure,
no.
Guich.
No, it was 11, yeah.
Thank
yeah.
God for that.
I know that. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
you think that. So you got 3 points for that one, Pop. And then Mill Celtic versus Parkville B. Guich went 2-0 Mill. Papa went 3-1 Mill. I have 2-2 in brackets. Doesn't matter, regardless. Anyway, 3 points for Podge. Not allowed. Move on.
You put it in brackets.
not
Just
so
put, sad,
leaving it.
just put a sad face to say that, will you, boy?
I did actually.
Thank you. Okay.
Bagnallstown B versus he looked.
No, upside down was
You
a
said
smile.
gullible real slow. Sounds like oranges.
Ooh.
Bagnallstown B versus Northern
Okay,
B.
friends.
You went for 2-2. Papa went for 4-2 to Bagnallstown. And Bagnallstown won 2-0. Papa got the point.
Which one was that? The Bagnallstown B?
Yeah, that game is currently still going on in the Connect.
Yeah, actually.
So it's not a final score, no?
Yeah.
It's going on the Connect, yeah.
That's it for this week, lads. Listen, I'm deadly serious. When we put up a question box, we're going to do a thing for best questions. If you ask a best question, we're going to give you a little prize. We'll decide what the best question is come next week. Alan O'Brien's question, Papa, while you're sitting there was, what hair dye do you use? I think he's asked that about 15 times now.
So you want an answer?
Miko, yeah, what's your answer?
Hey, don't use it. It's natural.
Miko Salder asked a question. Miko, we spoke about that during the podcast. I hope to answer the question enough. And Lee Gordon, I hope we answered.
The free weekend one.
Free
Yeah,
weekend,
I hope we got
free
through it.
weekend question.
So, lads, thanks so much for support, listenership.
I want to
and
give a shout out. I know
Go
I
on.
mentioned him earlier on.
This man's going on charge lads a $5 for
Honest to
shout out
God.
since he went on
It's
this.
in
I
one
know
of
I
the roads,
mentioned
mate.
Dockets earlier on, but I wish him a happy birthday.
40.
40 this week.
Who?
Yeah. Dockets.
Oh, the Dockets.
40, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's finished with Bagnallstown.
Oh.
Yeah, he got a scholarship, with diving scholarship with University of Los Angeles. So I think, yeah, he's going to be the oldest Olympian that Ireland have had, I think. So
Liam O'Neill is his
What is it,
instructor.
5 metre, is it? Or the low board? The
the
low board, I
five,
presume, yeah.
straight in with the 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Bounces up, hits the ball on top, knocks himself
Shoe
out.
in for a medal. So no, happy birthday, Dockets.
He's shoe in for a medal.
You little fucker.
Dockets, anyway, you can get them, take them. But anyway, lads, look, the listeners go up every week. We're delighted with the way it's gone, and yeah, listen, follow us, like, share, ask the question box. We will give you a prize for the best question. We'll announce it every week. As always, not my podcast.
Not my podcast.
Guich, you're in as well. It's not Guich's podcast. It's Carlos Soccer's podcast. It's your podcast. Good luck and God bless till next week.
Cheers, boys.
Brilliant.
We're going to do an announcement pop on the main podcast.
You've been listening to the second half of the How Is He podcast with Podge and Popa. Catch us on all major platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts and more. And make sure to follow us on social media at How Is He Podcast or visit howishepodcast.ie.